cord to the cloud. Wonderful. Yuan Tong Ling Ming. Welcome. So after a few technical difficulties that I have really no idea about what it was about, we will now commence. And maybe it was the topic I made up really, really quickly because plans have changed. They have changed only today in the morning, and I actually only know since about half an hour if the plans have changed completely or not. But the plans have changed. So we wanted to try a individual session today, but the person who wanted to look into that and try that out has changed the mind, and that's fine, no problem. There are several reasons. Mostly it's about being on YouTube, and which is something that wasn't realized before. But of course, I'm uploading it to YouTube, not on the public sector, but so that everybody can watch the recordings for those who want to watch the recordings. So now I actually still have no idea what to work on or what to work with. The Qifield is built to look into areas of life where we might be stuck or where we might be hanging. And so I've played the song Into the Unknown from Frozen 2, Walt Disney movie. And because this is a little bit how I feel right now. So how about we do it like this, that we will relax together and unify with the Qifield, just the way I do it actually when I'm giving individual sessions one by one. And maybe I'll have an idea in the meantime. So let's all relax together, put the body into a really nice position. Looking straight forward. And drawing the vision back. Gently and relaxing. Let's take some time. Relax the head and face. Feel into your eyebrows and relax them. Feel into your jaw and relax the jaw and cheekbones. Relax. Relax your neck. Lift up from Bai Hoi. Relax your shoulders, arms and hands. Relax your chest and upper back. Observe your breathing. No need to adjust the breathing. or change it. Just observe it. Observe when you are breathing in. And just simply become aware of it. And become aware when you exhale and when you inhale. Observe if you're breathing into your abdomen. And observe if your breath goes into your back. Observe if your breath is moving your lower back. Yes or no, doesn't matter much. Just observe. Observe, is there something happening with your qi? And as you're observing, you're breathing in and out. Observe the center of your head. And then bring your observation back to relaxing your abdomen, and relax your pelvis. And relax your legs down. All the way to the feet. And relax your whole body. And if you're sitting, lift high in. Bring your awareness inside, into the emptiness and spaciousness within. Just observe how you're turning into qi. And expand out all the way into the universe, as far as you can go and beyond. Draw back around you and inside you. The chi is accumulating. Yuan chi is flowing in. The information of the universe is flowing into. Flowing freely and well. And then open out to the universe one more time. And come back to the chi field. Unify with the global chi field around the whole planet. And connect with your heart, with all humans. And open out again into the chi field of the universe. Becoming one with the chi and information of the universe. Yuan Qi and Yuan Shen. The great love and wisdom of the universe. Connect with the Qi field again. And imagine now with visualization how you're bringing the global Qi field into your Qi field, the one you're building around your home or the place you are at currently. And connect with the Qi field as a participant, like a third party. There is all of us, the one who is speaking and everybody who's listening. And there is a Qi field. The Qi field is alive. And the Qi field of Renshou is always filled with information to lend you support and help, but also inspiration and strength. The calmness, the inner state is guiding you to a state of well-being, a state in which you simply feel wonderful. Now connect to trust. In your heart, unify your heart with the Qi field. Interact with your heart and from your heart to the Qi field. Your heart has become the Qifield. It's completely one, and you feel trust. You can direct your trust to wherever you want to direct your trust to. And if you can't feel trust, you can maybe choose something else that you do trust in. And just stay calm and relax. Very natural as you simply observe if there's some trust coming up for you. Sometimes you can just go into this unified state and wait. As you have made yourself one with your heart, let your heart connect with the qifield and ask from the bottom of your heart to help you feel trust, to help you feel experience trust. There's nothing to be done right now, nowhere that you have to be except here, now. Observing if some thoughts of something or someone that you can trust or where you can experience trust comes up. Well, you can trust always in that your heart is beating. For now, you are alive, so your heart is beating, yes? You can trust that your blood is reproducing cells. 20,000 blood cells each second. Your whole being is reproducing cells in every second. And your whole system of Qing, Qi, and Shen, body, Qi, and Shen, is doing this, reproducing cells, without you knowing. And we can trust into that. You can trust that right now, right here, there is the sun somewhere. Either it is on the other side of the planet, if it is night for you, or it is behind clouds if you can't see it shine. But the sun is out there right now, right here. You can trust into that. And there is the whole planet who is producing oxygen so you can breathe. Now maybe you can direct trust to yourself. And trust that some things that you would like to change can be changed. It might take time, but it will change. You can trust that if you feel relaxed and calm right now, you can always go into this state. And if you don't feel trust or calm or relaxed right now, then you can use this situation and maybe think, okay, so trust will come back. I trust that trust will come back to me. And connect with the Qifield and the Qifield of your heart. And feel openness. For now, simply observe what comes up for you when you connect with openness, the quality of openness. And just be quiet for a moment and observe openness. Maybe you feel an area in your body opening as wide and spacious. Maybe you don't even feel your body. Maybe it's a chi area inside of you. Maybe you're sitting and observing, and maybe you become aware where you would like to have more openness in your life. A specific information that you feel you're sort of missing. or a specific situation in which you know that you are closing up. So you can make and use the chi field right now to make a little wish for this situation, or in a specific relationship where you would like to have more openness and communication working better. Make the chi field and yourself one. Be in the awareness and willingness for openness. Maybe there is an area or an aspect in your life where you would like to have more acceptance. So you're just not that bothered by it anymore. Simply be in the state of openness about openness can happen there in this area or aspect in your life. And connect with your chi field of the heart and the chi field with love. And simply observe as you are one with the chi field right now, and with trust and openness, allow the chi field to give you love or to help you become aware of where love is missing. Is it self-love? Is it love for someone else? Or is it love for a situation? You could also use the chi field right now, right here, to be determined and send love to yourself, and from there, love to a person you usually dislike. And just send love to that person. Unconditional love. No matter what, nothing else matters. There is a lot of information about love in the chi field. And that information is streaming towards you right now. And so you can use the love coming from the chi field and send it to yourself and a person you dislike. Or maybe even stronger feelings that are disturbing the beauty of a happy and well-being state. And connect your awareness again with the chi field. the Qifield of the universe, the Qifield of Renshe and this class, the Qifield of your heart, and connect and unify with the quality of gratitude. In gratitude, I am grateful that the technical difficulties were overcome. Somehow, I don't know how, but they have passed, and I'm grateful for that. So now I can connect with you. Grateful for the connection with you right now, right here. Let's go into a little silence together again to observe what your Shen Yi and Xin Ling will bring up for you when you connect with gratitude and the Qi field in silence. Just simply allow your consciousness and Shen to flow freely, roam within the quality of gratitude. As one goes into this unified state, this is almost a form of Ling Yuan, not having to do anything and simply being in a unified state and giving a little intention like we just did with gratitude or any other of the heart qualities can sometimes really bring you a surprise. An area or aspect of your life that comes from deep within. And you didn't even know about it, that you had so much gratitude or love or openness for it. Or an area, an aspect of your life where you just weren't aware of that more openness or trust was needed. Giving your consciousness the time and space to simply be and become aware. And then go ahead and connect and unify with Gongqing. true respect. Where do you feel in awe? For who or which person or which species or for which situation would you like to have more respect? Allow this information to come out from deep within yourself. The chi field and your state has become very deep and strong. Very good quality. Now connect and unify with the chi field again. And embrace it all with your consciousness or your arms, if you like. Draw the information back to your heart. Use your consciousness with the intention of drawing back and storing and retaining the information. And gently open your eyes. If you like, of course, you can also keep them closed. How do you feel now? So this was basically free flow, Tong Yuan, the seventh method. So when you don't know what you would like to practice, you can just start. Start with building a chi field. Go into the deeply relaxed, calm and natural state. The integrated, unified and harmonized state. And then see what you want to do, what comes out from deep within you. So I didn't know where we were going to go during class today or when I started building the Qifield with you guys together today. This just came out naturally. There was the information for wanting to connect with the heart. And so I don't know how much you have practiced Tong Yuan, the proper method, listening to the texts about Tong Yuan, either quality. But this is one way. See, right now, we connected to our hearts, and I still really don't have an idea what to talk about. But now we are in such a unified state. I don't actually think it matters much right now. The state inside is so relaxed and so I'm just at peace. I'm here and I'm now, and nothing much else matters. What we can do is, if anybody has a question, you could post a question now. You can either write a question up in the chats if you feel like writing. Or you could we could try, you could just simply turn on your microphone and ask a question. I'm just going to trust the Qifield that there won't be 20 people talking at once. And if not, I will find something to talk about. So sometimes when we go into a deeper state like this, maybe there's questions coming up. It's all about this relaxing, unified state. There is a pattern which is called, it's one of the 20 behavioral patterns, and it's called seeking maximum certainty. And you have the information, so you can read up on it. When faced with the situation of needing a sense of stability, a sense of safety, a sense of understanding or knowing, we are very used to going external. We are very used to, just going outwards to acquire that information. And that is certainly one way of how one can do it. Reading, listening, asking questions. And this is a very important part of acquiring information. Last, there is the other option. There is this going into this deep relaxed state. And in this deep relaxed state, information can access from the universe and also information from deep within your true nature can access your awareness. And then that awareness can connect again with the information of the universe. And then you will receive some answers. So actually, can you see how all of this is in some way Ling Yuan, just not the structured version? In essence, this is actually also Ming Yuan, to simply be in this relaxed, deep state at all times, no matter if you are going into a sitting practice or not. So there was a question coming in. Let's have a look at the question. I'm certainly grateful. Last Sunday you said to respect every person, that everyone has the same value. What about murderers, people who abuse others? Do I need to repeat the question? Last Sunday you said to respect every person, that everyone has the same value. What about murderers, people who abuse others? So this is certainly, just sit back up. This is certainly a question that has a lot of possible information in itself. And I mean, in a way, this is certainly a question or a topic that has concerned human beings since always. How can we respect such a person? So this is where Yuan Ming really can help a lot. Yuan Ming is a healthcare system that attempts to work with totality, or the total reality of the universe. Meaning to see everything as part of the whole. How did a person become a person that has to murder someone else? Where does this need to kill someone come from? Where is this need to hurt someone else so badly or kill someone, even to take another life. I mean, what must have happened to that person that this is how they feel like, that this is what they are inspired to or driven to like? So if you do want to feel respect for people like that, first of all, these questions might help. Simply to adjust from a probable judgment towards that, or even the diagnosis of you are a murderer, to why are you a murderer might help you if you have these kind of questions. Those are certainly important questions, and if you can manage to turn, so if we inside of ourselves can adjust the point of view, the perspective from a you are this to why are you that, this will already give you a lot of freedom and probably a lot of space for respect. More often than not, when we get the opportunity to interview someone like that, and the person is capable of giving answers. Because this is another thing, right? Often people who are that hurt that the only solace they can find is to hurt someone else. In itself, this is an answer, isn't it? This is at least how I feel it, or how we see it in Renshö, I'm pretty sure. To hurt someone else, you are not in a relaxed, calm state. Think about it. When you are going into a relaxed, calm state, a natural state, are you feeling peaceful, or do you want to hit someone or kill someone? The relaxed, calm, and natural state, the unified, the harmonious state, that's the state in which one feels very peaceful. So when one has the ability to be in this state, then the absence of the need or desire to hurt someone is present. So we can basically, even with the logical mind, deduct that a human being who needs to help other human beings must be in a state of fear, pain, suffering, worry, anxiety. All of those are reasons for why anger would come their way. These are the reasons why, also these emotions are the reasons for wanting to hurt someone, or because the reasons actually, that's the state of someone, no? So when someone does not have the ability to go into such a beautiful, harmonious state, there is something hindering that person to be in this state. There is, so the emotions are simply one simple answer, but life is much more complex than that. Why the emotions? Why is there fear? Well, there must be a lack of what we talked about a few web classes ago, the fundamental qualities of human nature and the basic needs. So maybe that person has experienced a severe lack of support, of love. Maybe the person has experienced a lot of stress, maybe already in the womb. Maybe there is some form of codependency or addiction to a chemical substance that creates that state inside. Yeah. Maybe there is an overall being used to violence, not having seen it any other way, and a deep, deep belief that this is how life is. Maybe the sense of justice, of fairness wasn't given to that person. Maybe that person was never trusted before, or was only surrounded by humans who don't know how to trust, who don't know how to love unconditionally. Maybe that person is a bit different to how the majority around that person, also the other persons around that person's are. That didn't sound. So maybe that person who has this need for killing or hurting others is surrounded by people where the majority doesn't know anything else. This is always difficult for someone who hasn't grown up like that, who hasn't been continuously being put into the situation of needing to be scared or needing to be protecting themselves, or simply never is being given love, or simply can't see love for various mental reasons. So, of course, there is also the information of the prenatal qi. So, all the qi that is before the postnatal qi. Natal is birth of the physical body. So, all of the information beforehand might be an aspect here. So, there's obviously very strong defective. Defensive, I wanted to say, defensive mechanisms or protective mechanisms. My consciousness made protective and defensive into one word. So it also depends on the sensitivity of that person. Whereas one person can be abused many, many times before the person turns into an abuser themselves. A much higher or much more sensitive person might be, if not the right support is there, abused only once to be enough to become into someone like that. The social surroundings in a bigger scale might be a reason. For example, the belief system that we have to defend our country, and now we go off and we are killing in the name of our country. So it could be, you know, I guess by now we are aware that we're talking about several patterns of the consciousness. So when righteousness is coming in, which of course, where is righteousness coming from? Well, it could be abuse, but it could also be very much not having experienced hardships yet, not having experienced difficulties in life, because it happens to be that there is just really everything provided that someone needs for survival. And so you know, there has never been a challenge to having to deal with a pattern like self-centeredness, or like, you know, being spoiled, or never, you know, not having had to take responsibility in a way, because maybe so there's enough money and there is enough food and there is no need to, you know, try to receive education for some reason. So it could also come from there. Human life is complex. So in other words, the level of consciousness and the purity of the heart has to do something with that, or can have something to do with that, is better said. But simply, it comes back to someone who does not experience the unified state, the calm, relaxed, and safe state, this state of consciousness in which we feel so nourished and so wonderful, simply not needing to be somewhere else than in a calm, relaxed, and natural state in the here and now, and everything is fine there. Someone who cannot activate trust or love or gratitude or Gongqing, and just standing in nature and go, wow, this is beautiful. It's just wonderful. And from there on, it becomes very complex. Yeah. When the whole surrounding, I've seen a really interesting movie not long time ago. It's called Skin, and we can guess with the topic what that's about. White supremacists, and it was really interesting to see how, you know, there was a teenager who just didn't receive any any family support beforehand, for various reasons again, and that group has given that person support and a sense of belonging. And other persons who grew up with that, it's just like when you grow up and someone around you, or not one person, but everybody around you that you know keeps saying, do this, those are bad, those are evil, etc., etc., etc. There's what have we learned? The simple principles of Qi and information are that whatever information is being added, also the more information of one type is accumulating in a repetitive way, or in a very strong, forceful way, or a very present, very permanent way, just continuously or constantly surrounding you. And all informations are flowing into us as humans all the time, right? So when that information keeps being accumulated and keeps accumulating and keeps accumulating, we will end up with very strong information of a certain way. And we will develop maybe the pattern of polarized thinking or an overgeneralization, like a certain race or a certain, uh, um, citizens of one country or are a certain way, or all of them are doing this way or are like this. And when this is a negative, unhealthy information, but we don't receive other information, it just becomes a form of reality inside. And if that information doesn't follow Tao, the laws of life, so doesn't follow the healthy laws of life, and there is nowhere any form of respect close by, so those persons don't experience respect themselves and cannot have an experience because they don't feel it. They don't, nobody lives like this around them. So this is one way of how that can come together as a belief system inside, that some people have deserved to die or even need to be killed. This is then even that some people even believe this is the right thing to do. They think this is life and they think they are following life. Again, they don't have the state in which they feel so wonderful, like a deep, unified state. They don't have that state to fall back on. Um, another possibility could be that the consciousness has become so used to be having to be fast. Again, this leads back to the state. But when you always have to be fast because there's a lot of pressure, maybe because of an academic education or in your job, and you are constantly nervous, anxious, under pressure, and your mind goes 100 miles a minute. This is also where something like anger can accumulate. And from anger, it's a very short step to hate or the loss of self-control, in a way of not being aware anymore of what someone does. It's a little bit like a 3-year-old child having a hissy fit. Do you know the term hissy fit? Laying on the supermarket because it can't get its chocolate bar, just throwing the arms around and the legs and screaming loudly, and they aren't aware of anything, only that can't have the chocolate bar right now. So this is a complete loss of self-control. And then any of the patterns are involved. One thought is enough to have the body go into fight-flight mode via the nervous system. And so you're switching into this state of fight and flight, and blood is being pumped immediately to your arms and legs. And yeah. So patterns like not receiving what you want, patterns like not having what you need, many patterns. Well, in some way, all of the unhealthy patterns and its individual connections and constellations. One thing is clear, they are not yet on the level, maybe even so the level of development, which has nothing to do with not being equal or of equal value. It only has to do with an inner sense of needing to look for that state, an inner sense of wanting to feel relaxed, because you've never gotten used to that, or you didn't get to know that state ever. And if you don't know that this state exists, and if you don't know how to activate that state in yourself or establish that state in yourself to master your own state, we humans get stuck in emotions and in those patterns. And then the actions follow according to that type of information. So, how about these persons? Now, as you are practicing Renshe and you get to experience those deeper states, and you experience, you start to experience, love. Maybe even you already start to experience unconditional love. Maybe, so there is gratitude growing, and there is trust growing. So then we can use all of that within openness to take all of that into equation, to take all of this into the situation as a whole, as a total situation. And really, it becomes quite easy then to understand, okay, so you have hurt that person, you have abused that person, you have murdered that person. Let's find out, why have you done that? And if you can't find out, because like I said, often people on that level, they haven't learned to communicate. They don't even often know why they do it, because it's all normal for them. This is how life is for them. So then the over understanding of this is the reason why someone has to hurt someone else, because of insecurities, because of hurt, because of the lack of wisdom, not being aware that taking someone else's life will also harm your own, because one cannot see the connections yet. There is a lack of purpose in life, maybe also. So many reasons. So what do we do now that we're in this world where it seems only hurt people are running around, who seem to only need to hurt others? Of course, not only, that's an overgeneralization. There is many people who do not do that and don't have the need for that. But even in a smaller form, yeah, at home, in life, like parents who have so much to do, their job and the children, and maybe the children are tired or don't sleep through, maybe babies or little children, and they scream and yell or are fighting because the fundamental patterns are already established from the law of cause and effect from beforehand, some lives beforehand. Children have the fundamental patterns definitely inside of them already. And then they sometimes just a hand slips, or they pull the hair, or they yell at someone, or they just are so overwhelmed in their jobs that they have to ignore the children. So that brings a lack of being loved and supported within the child. So we are all sort of creating this somehow together. And let's not forget the view of totality, the perspective of totality. You have lived before in some form. In the perspective of Renshe, we see it that way, that, you know, life goes on and you become from physical form to non-physical form, and from non-physical form to physical form again. And so in each life that you are in physical form, so you have a body that your consciousness is currently contained in, you experience things, and all these situations and experiences are stored as information within your chi. And, you know, most people don't know what happened in their lives beforehand. And we don't really need to know that. What we do need is respect. And how can we gain respect in our own hearts is to see this overall picture. What could be the possible reasons, the cause and effect? And those are the manifestations. Why? What are the manifestations of someone needing to hurt someone else? I mean, this can be so strong that it has even like this storing of information can be so strong that it can even turn into someone, you know, like a mental disorder, like sociopathy or psychopathy, where one is so strongly under the influence of the pattern of avoiding and hiding, doesn't know themselves. So that person knows oneself so little and is so locked in from some form of information from beforehand that the whole brain net, the whole neurological pathways are so connected that that person can only feel pain through inflicting pain on others. But we have to experience ourselves through ourselves. Yes, we only can become aware through experience. And when everything is so numb, for whatever reason anyway, but it sure is painful information, because painful information accumulates as painful information, and so that person only experiences pain. But if someone has to be so numb because there was so much pain, either in a lifetime beforehand or in this life, through very early abuse or something, and sometimes that can happen, that, you know, now I need to feel pain and I need to inflict it on others so I can feel something at all. There's the information of the pattern resentment and revenge, which is one of the 20 behavioral patterns as well. It's very interesting to look at that and to observe throughout when you live your life, and observe when this shows up inside, you know, oneself, you know, wanting to pay back, or the simple, well, you haven't answered me or you haven't picked up the phone. Well, now I'm not going to pick up the phone for 3 days, even if you call me 20 times a day, for example. So that's a little funny example, you know, a humorous example. But depending on how strong that information is, this is how someone can turn into something that one, or that for now humans call a murderer, or someone who abuses someone else. Yeah. So we've looked into that a lot actually in the web class about victimhood, how victimhood comes to be, and how very often a victim turns into an abuser themselves because of the need for defending and for not slipping back into such a situation ever again. So now I protect and just attack through, also I protect myself through attack. Defense, that's called. Defensive mechanisms. Yes. So when you know all of that and you simply stay within this, and even more, I mean, you know, I've only been talking for half an hour or something about this. So there's, of course, totality is way bigger. All that ever has been in the universe in some form of, as some form of information can influence someone to be like this. So this is why we humans have to evolve to a place where we feel gongqing for these persons and understand that they are a human being that obviously is in pain and obviously doesn't know. So because gongqing and respect put us in a state ourselves in which we can gain clarity about that, and also it puts us in a relaxed, calm and natural state, and a wide open state, in a trustful state, a grateful state, and a loving state, a compassionate state, an empathy state, in which we can be free of victimhood ourselves and the need for revenge or payback. In this state of gongqing and respect, we are free, and also something else is happening. Creativity can set in, and inspiration can set in. And with creativity and inspiration and the Wushin, we can connect to the universe and we can pick up information and find ways of how to truly help that person. Yeah. You know, someone who does not experience a calm, relaxed, and natural state, I honestly feel for everyone who can't just sit quietly for half an hour and enjoy the beauty of a relaxed, calm, and natural state in which there are thoughts, but there is, beneficial, positive thoughts that feel beautiful and nice and inspiring and touching and warm and fuzzy. um, I feel for everybody who doesn't feel love, even if you've just been hit by someone or so. This for me is really something I could, if I would connect with that, I could feel sad for that. And sometimes it still happens, but mostly I just wonder what must have happened to that person to turn into a person like that. And so you can, allow your heart to open and to go into a state of becoming an explorer. Oh, great. This is like you can become like a Sherlock Holmes, and you can find out, how can I help that person? Well, first of all, I don't want to be in a state of anger or judgmental, or where I don't want to be in a state where I have to put someone else down and judge them to be less valuable, because that puts me in a state in which I don't feel nice. So this is very important for everybody to know, actually, that when you're not in the nice and beautiful, relaxed, calm and natural state, you don't feel great. You are lacking a moment of your life in which you're not happy. So is it worth to give up the fight? Is it worth to give up the sadness? Do you want to be free? In the end, it is, also in some way, not in the end, but in some way it's simple. Just give up the fight. Give up the demeaning someone else, the belittling someone else, to see someone else as being less important or less valuable. You don't know, maybe that person that got abused or that got murdered did that beforehand, and that life form had to experience that so that they wouldn't do it again. But we don't need to do that. And the more we clear out that inside of ourselves, that lack of respect, that lack of not valuing that person, it means that we are clearing information. And again, the more people do that, the more people feel the need to having to punish someone. Nobody will be abused anymore eventually. And then all the sick information all around the globe of human collective consciousness. So the information will be cleared from within all of human collective consciousness. And then the karma or the yuan, how we call it in Renshu, will just be like burned off. It will have evaporated. But nothing stops us from feeling Gongqing already in some way. As we've heard last Sunday when we were reading Tong Yuan Gongqing, we've heard also that Gongqing is certainly more effort than the other four hard qualities, the other Shin qualities, because this is not so easy, especially if you are experiencing it in your body on the receiving end of maybe being abused, or if you are very closely connected to someone who has murdered someone, or you're very closely connected to someone who got murdered. This has to do with our attachment, our connection with that person, and again, not being aware about totality, and that we don't see all the aspects involved. Nobody can see all the aspects involved of why people experience things. But certainly love is missing somewhere. So now we add love and we add respect, because it's just a state from within the heart. And when you lose that state, you lose something beautiful. So you can start with first giving it to yourself. And you don't need to feel respect for the murderer, but just feel it for yourself and become aware that when you feel, hateful or revengeful or righteous towards someone like that, no, you have done that, and then you're in a state where you're not forgiven, where you don't forgive, where you have lost your beautiful state. And so that's not respecting yourself. So in this way we can use, that's the validation of the self-centeredness pattern, for example. In this way we can use our perspective and seeing things from our perspective only, and going, okay, well, at least I'm going to take care of my state. And I'm going to go, for my sake, into the state of love and give the benefit of the doubt. And I will use questions and I will use the big picture. And then you get in a good state. And then when you are in that state, you will see. I am very sure of this. When you are in the state of Gongqing, you will be able to respect that person. You can try it out. Again, don't forget patterns. They're very quick. They're much faster than a second, right? And you can, it can be activated very quickly. The 1,000 reasons for why that pattern of losing respect inside of yourself as a state happens. So you might have to repeatedly practice this. But eventually, when you're in the state of true respect, you will be able to respect everything. Okay. So if anybody has more questions on that, you can maybe email them to me. I'd love to work a bit more with questions from your individual life. And it doesn't have to be the form of talking back to me with the voice. It can also be handled with questions, and I can just talk about it like this. And maybe in 2 or 3 years, we go into the new format of having individual sessions in front of each other. That is fine too. I have actually no expectations to when that happens or how it happens or even if it happens. It's just one way of possibility or one possibility and one way of how to do it. And so now we're going to just send a bit of chi through us. And because now there is a lot of beautiful information in the chi field, so we're going to nourish the whole body and all the chi fields inside the body with that chi and information. We're going to use one hand today. You can use your right or your left hand. Just use the hand that you are working more with, like maybe writing or that you are doing more with. Yeah. And so the other hand, hold it out as if you would be connecting with the chi field and sucking the information from the chi field and all that we've talked about today, and also all that we've experienced in the state before when we've built the chi field. And so you bring it in and you draw it up this arm and it flows over here and then it flows down the other arm. And this, the other hand that you're using is like a shower. And you're just pouring the chi or you're sending the chi in from here through the head or, you know, to the chest. So it's basically like a watering can, you know. So here you draw it in and here you let it flow through the places. Make sure you're sending it throughout the whole body, from the front all the way to the back, etc. Yeah? Okay. So look straight forward. And draw your vision back. Look into the center of your head and gently close your eyes. Lifting up from Bai Hui. Lift Hui in to Dantian. And relax. Relax. From inside, expand out and unify with the Qi field. You are turning into Qi and you're becoming one. And gently lift both hands off of your body and connect one hand with the Qi field and activate a funnel. Qi streaming in to the palm of the hand. It's Qi hand. Connect with the awareness that it is a Qi hand and open the palm of your hand up and draw up the funnel, the Qi, through the lower arm and the upper arm. Draw the Qi from shoulder to shoulder and then down the arm, all the way to the wrist, and bring your pouring hand, your watering can on top of your head, and then open this palm up and let the chi stream in. The chi streams into the whole body, from the head through the neck, through the torso, through the legs, all the way down to the feet. It streams through and through, pouring through you, strengthening your body is completely healthy. Your chi channels are open and flowing, completely unblocked and free. The chi is flowing. And all the chi gathering places are being filled with chi. Your Shen Yi, your true nature, and your heart, your Xinling consciousness is being nourished and strengthened and purified. Now focus on the space, the chi field of your brain. There is no brain there, it's only a chi field, a field filled with bright chi and information. And bring down your chi hand, your pouring hand in front of the eyes. Pour chi through the eyes. Your nose and airways. Your mouth. Bring it to the ear and send chi from one ear through the head of chi to the other chi ear. All is healthy and well. Bring your hand in front of the throat. Send chi all the way through. Send chi into your chest, the whole chest first, and your breasts. All is healthy and well. Deeply calm. Send chi through your lungs. And heart. Liver and gallbladder. Stomach and pancreas behind the stomach. And spleen. Send chi through intestines, small and large intestines. And then send chi all the way through the middle lower back, through the kidneys. Send chi in your groin and the right pelvis, right buttock. And keep your shower, your chi hand there. Send chi down the leg of chi through the hip and thigh, the right knee, the lower leg, ankle and foot. Gently move your toes. And bring your chi shower over your left groin, sending chi in to the left pelvis and buttocks, the left hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle and foot. Gently wiggle your toes, moving your toes very gently. Chi goes all the way. And then bring your hand, your chi shower back to the middle between your legs, sending chi into the urinary and reproductive system. And then to your tailbone. Chi is flowing from the universe and the chi field into your hand, up the arm, across the chi shoulders, down the chi arm, and out of your chi shower into your spine, the tailbone, and the sacrum, lower back, lumbar spine. Raise your chi shower up to thoracic spine. And the cervical spine. To the center of the head. Keep going all the way up. Bring your chi shower again on top of your head, like in a real shower. And shower chi one more time through the whole chi filled body. Chi is flowing through all the way. And inside there is everything clear, pure and healthy, functioning perfectly. And every aspect and space of yourself is filled with Wu Xin. And then open all your arms out into the universe. Palms forward and draw chi back. Drawing chi back to lower dantian. Nourish chi quietly in lower dantian. And then allow your awareness rise up from lower dantian to your Xinling heart consciousness. And the center of your head are becoming one space. And observe your state. Enjoy the state. You are filled with the love and original chi of the universe. And come back to lower dantian. Chi is gathering in lower dantian. Leaving all the chi inside. Start gathering chi in your hands and to the head and face. Gently open your eyes when you're ready. So there is a lot of chi and beautiful information in the chi field. Stay in this state and stay unified with the universe if you like. Good night, good day, and Yuan Tong Ling Ming. Thank you so much.